The Fed just destroyed everything, okay? I'm actually was holding an option call on Tesla, which gained like 60%, and now I think I'm minus 40%. Will we bounce back? I think yes. Welcome to Tesla Sundays. Oh gosh, I missed this intro. So those are the topics that we will talk about today. Let me present to you. But before that, make sure to subscribe and like. If you are new here, make sure to push this Tesla Sundays if you want to see more about Tesla. Here you go. So we will talk about the Tesla performance. And gosh, was this a roller coaster in the last couple of days. Then we will talk about why the Tesla shares are way oversold and why we have a window of like 22% to grow over the next week or over the next 12 days. Everything about this in this video, and also later we will talk about a little bit about the Tesla stock chart. Very, very interesting. Stay tuned. Let's go. I mean, what the hell? We are currently sitting at the $1 trillion valuation. PE is somewhere around 335. And yeah, I mean, we need to just look into the last couple of days. So beginning of the year, we started tremendously, okay? The numbers were absolutely mind-blowing. The delivery numbers were absolutely fantastic, much more than expected. And that's why you have seen this unbelievable jump of these shares, about 13% to $1,200. And after that, the Fed just destroyed everything, okay? Tuesday was a little bit of a sell-off. People took some profits. And then Wednesday, started the Fed sell-off, which was absolutely ridiculous, okay? So you can see since the highest point till the Friday close, we lost about 14%. And at some point, your question, okay, when is enough? What is enough? Which number is enough? Those are questions that we will answer in the next two categories, so make sure to stay till the end. But you can see here that the last week was absolutely hammering with the average volume of 27, which is about the volume that we had also on the last trading day last week. And yeah, from here, I mean, good. We have to admit something, okay? The last 6 months were absolutely fantastic for Tesla shareholders. We gained about, 60%. And over the last year, we gained about 16%, which is, okay, is this right? I'm just confused because I said it's so less gains. Anyway, so, I think that Tesla has now a very interesting period where the Fed is a little bit distracting with their overall situation, with their rate hikes and less money into the market, which gives growth stocks like Tesla a little bit harder time because of the valuation, because of the PE of 335. But I think with those new numbers, with the great earnings, we will see a lot of upgrades for the stock, and from there we will go I think to new all-time highs, just a couple of days or weeks time, in my personal opinion. So let's see what and why the stock is actually oversold. So why do I believe that Tesla is oversold? Now we will dive into the technical aspects, into the stock chart, but what you need to understand is what's happening macro, okay? Macro is the Fed came out with a much more hawkish, which is like a other word for kind of bearish, kind of looking onto the economy, and that's why they think that they will raise rates, they will cut QE, they will cut their balance sheet, okay? And this is obviously as if someone just, would slowly but surely end the water, let's say, supply, okay? And then after they do this, or they announce that after almost 1 month, you get a written paper that they actually thinking to drastically end the water supply, which is absolutely crazy. Obviously, then everybody is, panicking. But I think that we, as Shamas said in his latest podcast, we almost puked everything out, okay? Now I think we are at some levels which are great, because think about it. The numbers of Tesla are absolutely stunning. Elon will present a roadmap of products into the next earnings calls if we hold to his tweet. And there's much more, let's say, bullish arguments for the stock than there's negatives, right? At some point, they're just selling because they're selling, okay? So at some point, it's just enough. And I'm actually was holding a call on Tesla, an option call, which gained like 60%. I should have sold. And then it went back down, and now I think I'm minus 40%, okay? So a huge difference. However, I should have sold, but I haven't. The Fed meeting was obviously, the meeting report was obviously some kind of surprise for the market. Nobody expected this. This was basically labeled as no event on the stock market. However, it is what it is. But if you're making this kind of trades, you need to think, okay, would I now put in some money into a call into Tesla? If the answer is yes, then you just hold it, okay? I'm holding. I'm thinking the next week will be a recovery. And if you're looking into Tesla shares, you cannot miss Gary Black. Gary Black is one of the most openly and publicly active Tesla investors out there, and he's running his Twitter quite religiously. Every single day you have multiple kind of tweets about Tesla shares and so on. And he actually tweeted 16 hours ago, as of this recording of this video, that Tesla seems way oversold. And look at the language, way oversold, okay? And he has a very, very interesting take on this. Normal percent return from 1 day after volumes unit, but basically what he's saying is like 1 day after change of volumes or announcement and before EPS plus 90% is basically he sees, okay, what usually happens when the stock is gaining into volumes and what their stock reaction is compared to what it have done over the last couple of days. And we've seen what the stock did. And let's have a look what here Gary Black put together for us. This quarter, Tesla minus 13.6% due to macro at 52 EPS growth 2023. Tesla no longer long duration growth, even if percentage return measured from 1 day before volumes to EPS, normal 26.2% versus this quarter minus 1.9%. So you can see here he compared, okay, what happened with the Tesla stocks after a day of the volumes announced, then pre-EPS 1 day before and 1 day after the EPS earnings and 5 days after. So you can see that on average we have only gains, okay? So 2%, 2.5% before and after the volumes are announced, 19% volume announced till the earnings, and after basically from before the volume announced to the earnings announced, this would be 26%, and then after the earnings plus the earnings 5 days rather negative or positive. So actually usually the Tesla share after the volume announced is gaining towards the earnings, and this is exactly where it goes. So from tomorrow, which is the 10th of January, until the 22nd or 24 or 26, whatever I think that the question is 24 or 26 of January, usually the stock goes crazy, but we are negative. So will we bounce back? I think yes. What is possible? Anything between 20 to 22%. I really love this because the stock market is a lot about statistics, numbers, and so on. We will see a bounce back. This is what I personally believe. So stay tuned and just stay in Tesla. And if you are long term, then forget about everything what I just said. Okay, there's like I would say medium scale problem with the Tesla chart, okay? Everything looked absolutely fantastic if we are zooming in, because we had like a fantastic start here, okay? We ended the year with, let's say, downside trend, but with the opportunity to break out with great news. And the great news came perfectly, okay? When the Tesla stock was having here the support of the 50 moving average and then absolutely went up 13%, guys, 13%. My call options made like, I think 60% that day. This was absolutely insane. Unfortunately, as you might understand, we went down from that quite significantly as well. Okay, what does it mean? So what happened was we were at 1,200 and since then broke a couple of days, which I thought like, okay, here maybe it's enough and Friday we will just, move higher. But unfortunately, we closed below the 50 moving average, which is per se not a great situation, okay? It's not a great sign. I mean, I don't think that we will test the 900 levels again, but if the market goes absolutely crazy bearish, then this could potentially happen as well. I don't see definitely below that, okay? Maybe 850 then or something, but I don't think we should test the 200 moving average like we tested back in August, okay? Now, however, so I said we will look into the oversold situation, okay? Here's the deal. RSI gives us always an interesting opportunity to see, okay, are we overbought or oversold? Here, for example, back in October, end of October, beginning of November, you saw quite significantly that we were overbought and all-time high, so it pulled back. Now, then, you can see here we were oversold with an RSI of about 37. We are currently at around 48, so there's still some room, maybe for Monday, to still go a little bit lower and then have the turnaround Tuesday for the overall growth stocks. This could be my best guess, okay? If there's no other big news that coming out, guys, we should have a new way up for at least a couple of days. There's, I think, Tuesday also the speech of Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. Maybe he will give some relative to that, what the minute meeting actually says, and so on and so forth. So it's very, very exciting what's happening next week.